guys, Empire Clutch here. In today's video, we are ranking every Diorama set. There's only 6 dioramas, so it's probably going to be a shorter video than usual, but it's probably going to be just as controversial as usual too. But yeah, let's get into it. In last and 6th place, we got set 75380 Moss Esper Podrace Diorama. This set includes 718 pieces and retails for $80. So quite an expensive diorama. And for $80, I want at least one minifigure in my diorama, and this one doesn't have minifigures. I mean, it is a micro scale version of a pod race, so it makes sense for it not to have any minifigures included in the set. But instead of it being micro scale, I wish it did like something where it had like one pod race, like Sebulba's pod racer, and you had some background behind it, and then you added Sebulba inside it. I think that would have looked much better than what they did with this micro scale version. You do get a nice quote tiles that says, "Remember, concentrate on the moment, feel, don't think, use your instincts," which is quoted by Qui-Gon Jinn in The Phantom Menace, so I like that inclusion. I like the nods to Qui-Gon. I think he's one of the best characters in Star Wars. You also get that 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars plaque included, but I don't like when they do this on dioramas. I think it looks out of place. I wish they did like a flat tile like they did with the Lego Star Wars and the quote, and then added it to the front of it instead of where you added like on the top. I think that will have looked much cleaner, but Lego of course doesn't want to make a new piece for the 25th anniversary when they already have the existing one, so it makes sense for them not to do it, but I wish they did it differently. Overall, I think it is a good diorama, but for $80 I want at least one minifigure, and if you can put a minifigure in the set for $80, like make the set different to have that minifigure inclusion would be what I would prefer, as I said. But other than that, I like the design, I like the colors. I think for the diorama to not have a minifigure included, I think they did a good job. Like, they did a good job, but for $80 I want the minifigure, and it doesn't have that, so this is why the pod racer diorama is in last place. In 5th spot, we have set 75329 Death Star Trench Run diorama. This one includes 665 pieces and used to retail for $70, so less than the previous one, but also less pieces. And the reason this one is coming in at 5th place is because, again, lack of minifigures. But I prefer the trench run scene over the pod racer scene in general, so that's why it's probably ranked a little higher. And the trench run scene makes more sense in micro scale than the pod racer. You could easily make the pod racer in minifigure scale than the trench run scene, because the trench is so big and the ships are bigger in general compared to a pod racer. So it makes sense for this one to be micro scale, but again, I would prefer it to be minifig scale or something like that. Maybe just add Darth Vader's TIE Advanced and Luke's Red 5 in like a microfighter size, or maybe like in the size they do for the Death Stars and Vader's Castle, where you can barely fit a minifigure inside, but they are much smaller than a play scale or minifigure scale one, for example. But other than that, I think the design is pretty sweet for this. I really like the greebling design. I think Lego really nailed it in this set. I mean, just look at all the details. It looks absolutely amazing. The X-Wing itself also looks good. I really like that R2-D2 printed tile on top. Just adds a lot of detail. I mean, for micro X-Wing, I think it looks pretty dang sweet. Then we also have 2 TIE fighters, also with a printed cockpit piece, and I think they look good. And then we have Darth Vader's TIE Advance, probably my least favorite of the ships in this micro scale style. It does have that TIE fighter printed cockpit piece too, but I just think it looks more clunky and disproportionate compared to the other ships in this set. You also get a quote, of course, in this set that says, "The Force is strong with this one," quoted from Darth Vader in A New Hope. But yeah, no minifigures, that's why this one is coming in at 5th place. Coming in at 4th place, we got it 75339 Death Star Trash Compactor diorama. This set includes 802 pieces and used to retail for $90. I mean, it's quite an expensive one, but you actually get minifigures in this one. Yay! There is 6 minifigures included in this set, one of them being Luke Skywalker in his Stormtrooper armor. We also get Han Solo in his Stormtrooper armor. We also get Princess Leia with white dress and detailed belt. We also get C-3PO. Sadly, no dual molded legs on this one, but it is what it is. We also get R2-D2 with a printed back. I like when they do that. And we also get Chewbacca, the one we have seen so many times and we will probably see in many years to come. I mean, the minifigures in this is a very great lineup. I wish Princess Leia probably had some leg printing and C-3PO had a dual molded legs, but other than that, I think the minifigure selection is absolutely perfect. This is of course all the minifigures you want in this set. The set itself is very detailed, but one thing I really don't like about it is the brown color. I mean, the brown color is accurate to the scene, but I just don't prefer brown on my shelves. The only really brown set that I do like is Jabba's sail barge, but that's about it. I mean, it just looks scuffy and rough as a trash compactor should. It does have some nice functions where you can like push the walls together and the little eye pops up. But yeah, you can make some nice recreations of the trash compactor scenes from A New Hope with this set, and that is what I really also like about it. Like, the display ability options are endless almost. But one thing I don't understand is the inclusion of C-3PO and R2-D2. Like, they don't really do anything in this set when you have it on display, because they of course were not in the trash compactor in A New Hope. They were in the control room, so for that I don't know why they included them. Could probably skimp out on those and reduce the cost just a little bit, but they wanted to include them. But yeah, very nice set. I like the minifigures, I like the scene, but it is not one of my favorites, and that's why it's coming in at 4th place. Coming in at 3rd place, we got set 75330 Dagobah Jedi Training Diorama. This set has exactly 1,000 pieces. What a nice round number. And it used to retail for $90 US. This is probably one of the best value for your money diorama set that LEGO has done so far. I mean, price per piece wise, this is very good, but it does have a lot of 1x1 tiles, so I don't really know if you can use that metric in this case. It does include 3 minifigures, which are Yoda, a very nice version of Yoda. I really like this version. You also get Luke Skywalker in his Dagobah training outfit, and I really like this outfit. LEGO really don't do it that often, so when they actually do it, I am a big fan. You also get R2-D2 with back printing, and what I really like about this R2-D2 is the dirt stains on him. It actually looked like he is dirty. We all love LEGO, but we also know that LEGO sometimes would skimp out in a situation like this and just include a normal R2-D2, but luckily they didn't do it in this scenario, and I'm thankful for that because he does look absolutely amazing and fits the scene so much. The set itself is a big one. It does take off more shelf space than previous or other dioramas to come. It is very wide, but that's because it does include a lot of the swamp. It doesn't have that much going on in most of it. It's like very flat-ish, you could say. The thing I like the most about this is probably the X-Wing wing sticking out of the swamp where Yoda is lifting it up like he does in the scene. I mean, Yoda's hut in general does look good. What I really don't like about this set is the trees. LEGO is just not very good at doing trees. Like, they always look weird in some aspect, and I can't really put my finger on it, but they also do it in this case. But other than that, overall, I think this is a very, very, very good set, both minifigure wise and build wise. But the thing I hated the most about this set is that one step where you have to place down, is it like 177 1x1 trans green tiles in one step? But when you're done with it, it does look pretty good that they are 1x1 instead of just being like 1x2 compared to it, because it does add a little more effect in my opinion. I just think this one is a very, very good set, and if you don't have it already, I would definitely recommend you pick it up on the second-hand market because it is sadly retired at this point. In second place, we got set 75353 Endor Speeder Chase Diorama. This set has 608 pieces and used to retail for $80 US. This is one of the more overpriced dioramas, but I also think it's one of the best ones. I mean, it is in second place, so it makes sense for me to think it is one of the best ones. It includes 3 minifigures, which is Luke Skywalker in his Endor outfit. I think this minifigure is alright, but I think it needs some arm printing maybe for it to be a very good minifigure, especially for $80 US. You also get Princess Leia in her ender outfit. I like this a little bit more. It has a little bit more detail on the torso, but again, I also think this one could maybe use some arm printing. I don't know. They both definitely needed maybe a poncho like they have done in previous iteration of these minifigures. And then we get to the best minifigure of this set, which is the Imperial Scout Trooper. I just really think Lego is nailing it with the Scout Troopers at this point. I think it would be too over detailed if this one had arm printing, especially with all the details on the torso and legs. But the best thing about this minifigure is of course that dual molded helmet. It just looks so good. The set itself is very good. I really like that you can pose the speeders however you want. But one thing I don't like about the set is of course the trees. Like I said at the previous diorama, I don't really think Lego is very good at making trees in Lego. I think the trees always looks a bit clunky or maybe wonky or maybe a little too bare minimum, you know, but this is one of the better trees that they have put in sets, so for that I think it is very good. You also get a quote in this which is "Quick, jam that comlink center switch," which is Luke Skywalker, of course, that said that in Return of the Jedi. You also get a 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi plaque in this. Like I said on the pod racer, I wish they included it like a flat tile in the front, like the other quotes and Lego Star Wars logo. Other than that, I think this set is very good. I really like the speeder. The speeders look so good in this. This is probably some of the best speeders Lego has ever made. So for $80, I think this is actually a good diorama, and if you can find this cheap on the second-hand market, I would definitely recommend that you go out and pick up this diorama. Coming in at spot number 1 and the best diorama of all time in my opinion, we got set 75352 Emperor's Throne Room diorama. This set includes 807 pieces and used to retail for $100 US. This is the most expensive diorama that Lego has released and is probably also the most overpriced, or definitely one of the most overpriced dioramas, but I still think it is so good. You of course get 3 minifigures in this set. You get Darth Vader. This is the perfect version of Vader with arm printing and everything. I mean, it just doesn't get more perfect than this when it comes to Darth Vader. Nothing to complain about with him. You can say that about the next minifigure, which is Emperor Palpatine. I mean, from the neck and down, I think this is a good minifigure. I like the leg printing, I like the simple torso printing, but then you get to the hood piece. I'm not a big fan of this new hood piece where it's like open at the bottom. I prefer the old one where it's like enclosed the head fully, and then we get to the actual face print. I am not a big fan of this no pupil trend for Jedi and Sith that Lego is currently doing. I think they look so much better when they have pupils in their eyes, like they actually do in the movie. He has pupils, Lego, please come on, look at the source materials. But pupils and hood aside, this is a good Palpatine and it is needed in a throne room diorama. And the third and final minifigure in this set is Luke Skywalker in his Return of the Jedi outfit. I mean, this is a decent minifigure. It's kind of boring, it's kind of bland, there's not really much going on. I mean, it is a perfect representation of Luke Skywalker in that outfit, so for that it gets a pass. But I wish they included like where the flap is open in the scene in Return of the Jedi. I really wish this set would include 2 royal guards that you could have stand maybe behind Palpatine or like at the full front of the diorama. I just think they would add so much detail and a splash of color in a very black and gray diorama. The quote for this diorama is, "I am a Jedi like my father before me," of course said by Luke Skywalker. You also get that 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi, just like on the previous one. I wish this was a tile that you could have on the front instead of this big plaque that you have sitting on top. It just takes so much away, especially on this set. But the design itself of the set is very nice. I really like the window. I think it looks so good. The building technique is absolutely insane for that. The throne is also very nice and it spins, of course. There's also a hidden like play feature in this set. Underneath one of the floor tiles you have his lightning pieces, which is a nice addition so you can recreate different kind of scenes games where like he is electrocuting Luke Skywalker, for example, or Darth Vader is throwing him off the edge while he has his lightning in the hand. There's just a lot of possibilities for displayability and posability in this set, and I just think it looks the cleanest and like neatest, so that's why it is also one of my favorites, and it's just one of the best scenes in Star Wars, let's be real. But yeah, very good set. If you can find this for a good price on the secondhand market, I would definitely recommend you pick up this set. It is so good in real life. But yeah, this is the best diorama in my opinion, and that's why it's coming in at number 1. That was it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below what you think of my ranking, what is your favorite diorama set, and as always, see you next time. Peace.